The Battle of Kadesh, Ramesses' fight for victory. The Battle of Kadesh happened because two great empires wanted to control the same land. Egypt and the Hittites both claimed the city of Kadesh, which sat on an important trade route. Controlling Kadesh meant controlling wealth and power. Neither king wanted to give it up. Pharaoh Ramesses II, young and full of pride, led his army north to take the city. But King Muwatalli of the Hittites had gathered a massive army to defend it. Both sides prepared for war, knowing only one could stand victorious. The Egyptian army marched for many days, moving toward Kadesh in the hot sun. Ramesses believed he would catch the Hittites by surprise, but Muwatalli had a plan. Hittite spies disguised as locals told Ramesses that the enemy was far away. Trusting this false information, Ramesses split his army into 4 divisions and camped near the Orontes River. He didn't know that thousands of Hittite chariots were already hiding behind the hills, waiting to strike. The traps sprung like lightning. The Hittite chariots thundered across the plain, their wheels tearing through the dust. They smashed into the Egyptian camp, crushing tents and trampling soldiers. Panic spread through the Egyptian lines as warriors scrambled for their weapons. The surprise attack scattered the first division, and chaos erupted. Arrows filled the sky, swords clashed, and the battlefield turned red with blood. Ramesses climbed into his war chariot, grabbing his sword. His horses galloped through the battlefield, hooves pounding against the earth. He fought at the front, cutting down Hittite warriors as his chariot raced through the enemy ranks. The Pharaoh shouted for his soldiers to stand their ground, but the Hittites kept coming, pushing the Egyptians back. Bodies fell, shields splintered, and the air smelled of fire and death. The Pharaoh's bodyguards died one by one, protecting him with their lives. Soon, Ramesses stood almost alone, surrounded by enemies, but he refused to flee. His golden armor gleamed with sweat and blood as he swung his sword again and again. He fought like a god of war, roaring as he cut through the enemy. The Hittites tried to kill him, but he dodged their spears and arrows, his body moving with strength and speed. Just as the Pharaoh began to tire, the ground rumbled with the sound of hooves. The Naaran division, the Egyptian reinforcements, arrived like a storm. Their chariots slammed into the Hittite lines, driving them back. Egyptian archers fired volleys of arrows, and the soldiers pushed forward with renewed strength. The battlefield turned into a sea of shouting, screaming, and crashing metal as the two sides fought into the evening. The sun bled into the horizon, casting a golden glow over the dead and wounded. The Hittites, unable to break the Egyptian army, retreated to their camp. Ramesses stood tall among his soldiers, his chest rising and falling with exhaustion. His body was bruised and bloodied, but his eyes still burned with the fire of victory. The Egyptians cheered, lifting their weapons to the sky, celebrating their survival. The battle had no true winner, but Ramesses declared victory. He returned to Egypt as a hero, his scribes carving the story into stone. Years later, the two empires made peace, but the Battle of Kadesh became legendary. It was a brutal clash of kings, warriors, and the endless struggle for power, a day when a pharaoh stood against death and refused to fall. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.